Hi guys, this is Mike from Two Pros and Their Blogs. We had an email come in from a specific reader asking what the process was to move from Blogger to WordPress. So today I'm going to walk you through the process. It's going to be a two-part video. First I'm going to show you how to move from a Blogger or Blogspot blog to WordPress.com, which is the hosted version of WordPress. For more information on what exactly that is, you can see the previous video that we did on setting up a WordPress.com blog. So to start off with, if you've already got a WordPress.com blog going, all you need to do is log in initially into the dashboard, which you'll see up on the screen right now. This is the basic initial screen that you're going to see when you first log into WordPress.com. In this case, we've got twoprosandtheirblogs.wordpress.com just set up as a test site, and what I'm going to do is try to import some posts from sort of a junk blog that I have sitting up on blogger.com right now, and then we'll see what the process is. So it's pretty straightforward to get started. You just need to move down to the tools menu. You can see it down here. I'll scroll down a little bit, make that a little easier. So you're going to then click on the import, and you can see it comes up. WordPress.com has the ability to import from Blogger and a whole bunch of other different blogs, none of which we're going to get into right now. But for this case, we're going to click on Blogger. And you can see the first thing it's going to do is ask if you have an export file or if you just want to authorize it against your account. Now in this particular instance, for this example, I'm already logged into my Blogger account, meaning that I've got my Google account already logged in. So when I go ahead and click on authorize, it's going to already know who I am and be ready to rock and roll. So let's do that. And you can see it's giving a request here. Now in this particular instance, I know a lot of you guys might panic if you don't know what it means, but I can safely tell you that getting grant access is okay. So go ahead and do that. And now you can see it's going to ask me which site that I have set up that I want to import from. Now there's a junky one that I did for my brother, which is Johnston's Lawn Care. There's a CMS Critic one, and then there's That Critic Guy blog. Now the CMS Critic one.blogspot.com, that's got a few posts on it, and they're just generally mostly text posts, so that's a pretty good one for this example. So all you literally do here is click on import and then watch the posts go. So it's turning along pretty quick here. As you can see, it's 34 out of 500 and bucking along quite nicely. So we'll just wait for this to finish here. So one of the things you're going to need to do if you're running on a WordPress.org platform, and what I mean by that is you've got your own WordPress that's up and running on a host like HostGator or GoDaddy or any of these guys, the process is going to be very similar, but the dashboard's going to look a little bit different. But for all intents and purposes, you're still going to tools and import to go through the process. And I'll show you that in the second half of this video, just by importing into a random one that I have set up right now. It's almost complete here. And you can see it brings in your posts as well as your comments. On this one, I don't think there's any comments existing. There's just one. And we're just closing up on the end here. Another thing I should point out as well, there are instances sometimes when WordPress does an import where it will not pull your pictures properly. We'll take a look and see if that's been resolved in this version, because I'm not 100% sure myself. If it comes to the point where it doesn't pull your pictures in correctly, there are a few other tools you can use as well, but this is a very this is for basically pulling in the brunt of it. And what it'll do is it'll link any images that you have in the WordPress posts to their location on Blogger. That's kind of hard to explain, but your images will remain on Blogger. WordPress will just show the image, but if you click on the image, it'll actually be linking to your blogger.com blog. It's probably the easiest way to explain it. Okay, so here we are. The blog import from Blogger is completed, and now you can see all the different posts that I had on there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to view the site. And here are the posts that I had within it. Now, most of these ones were just straight videos or pictures, so they're fairly straightforward. There wasn't a lot to look at. But as you can see, it's pulled them in without any problems. And that really is all there is to it. So for a quick and easy import from Blogger, you can see it's grabbing the images here. Oh, and it looks like it's actually brought them in properly as well. So that's good news for one of the things that I was a little bit concerned about in previous versions of WordPress. When they did an import, they didn't bring in the pictures properly, but it looks like what it's done in this case is it's just linking to their original source, but they all show up fine. So your pictures may remain on Blogger for all intents and purposes, but your content will be here, and then any future content and images will be obviously will be on your new WordPress.com. So that's a great way to start off with, and actually it's going to save you a bunch of bandwidth having your images hosted on Blogger for your old posts. And that is it in a nutshell. So that is importing from Blogger to WordPress.com and moving your content. And like I said, for any future posts that you do, your posts and your images and everything else will reside on your WordPress.com site, but your old ones, any media files like images or videos, will remain in their original location, but they'll show up fine in your posts. So that is the quick and dirty way to do it. And then I can show you next, I'm going to show you how you do it from a WordPress.org site, which is pretty much exactly the same, but we'll go through it anyway just for those of you who are curious. So, okay, for the second part of today's video, we're going to walk you through the process of importing from Blogger to self-hosted WordPress. So that is the WordPress that you actually download the file from WordPress.org and set up and install on your own host, such as GoDaddy, HostGator, or any of those particular ones. So once you've got your WordPress up and running, you're going to log into the dashboard, and you're going to follow a very similar process to what we did on WordPress.com. That is, go to Tools and then Import. Now, the difference between this one and WordPress.com, on WordPress.com the importer is already installed. On your own WordPress, you'll actually have to download and install a plugin, but don't be freaked out. It's a fairly straightforward process. So click on Blogger. You'll see it's just telling you what it's going to do. Click Install Now. It's now downloaded and installed the Blogger importer, as you can see, and then you're going to click on Activate and Run. So now, just like on WordPress.com, we're going to authorize it against our Google account. Click on Authorize. You can ignore this message that pops up here. It's just informational. So click on Allow Access. You can see we've got the same options we had before. You're going to click on Import, and the process is going to kick off. What you should see are the number of posts incrementing here fairly shortly. And there we go. When the import's complete and it's got all the posts it's capable of getting, it's going to stop, and the button you see that says Importing is going to switch to one that says Set Authors. And I'll explain that once that's finished there. Almost done. There we go. So it's imported 446 of 488 posts. Now, why it skipped a specific set of them, I'm not 100% sure. They could be drafts, they could be empty posts with no content in them, but it's got the bulk of them. So you can see Set Authors. You're going to go ahead and click on that. Now, what it's doing here is it's saying on Blogger, your username that you used was CMS Critic. So do you want to attribute all those posts to which author? And there's two here. I'm going to pick Test Site 75, which is the one I used to set this website up. Click Save Changes, and now it shows me all the posts. And you can see all the posts now have Test Site 75 as the author. And there you have it. That is the process of importing from Blogger to WordPress.org website. Now, a couple caveats I just want to point out here. The process is fairly straightforward, and we really encourage you to try to use these videos as your guide through the entire process of importing. It's really a straightforward step-by-step method, and if you follow the instructions that we've laid out here today, you should for the most part not have any issues getting it up and running. If you do find yourself struggling, we've put together a very inexpensive package where I will actually go through the process for you and import all your stuff into your site, and we'll get to that in a minute. A couple things I just want to point out here. There are a lot of third-party scripts that are available, and there are also services that are offered by a number of companies where they'll import your content from Blogger to WordPress. I would encourage you to make sure you do your research on those before you sign up for them, or you download the scripts or run them or anything along those lines. The main reason is that if you're not using the stuff that's built for WordPress by the WordPress developers, you run the risk of having your content kind of modified. You can run into things like paragraphs being all squished together with improper spacing, or you can lose the formatting of your posts, or the images won't come back properly. And so what happens is it creates havoc for WordPress, so it ends up causing a whole bunch more work for you. You're gonna have to go through every individual post and modify each one to fit the format that you had on Blogger. Obviously that's not desirable. That's why there's the Blogger to WordPress importer by WordPress, and that's why I recommend you use that. But again, should you get stuck, just go to our website right here, twoprosandtheirblogs.com, and click on the services button in the top, and we've put together a very inexpensive Blogger to WordPress migration service. What'll happen here is you'll click the buy it now, make your purchase through PayPal. If you don't have a PayPal account, that's okay. They accept all major credit cards. Once that's done, you'll be redirected to a form. Fill out the form with your details, and then yours truly will get a hold of you, and I'll happily go through the process for you and get it done. So again, try it out. We encourage you to do your best with the videos that they have there, but we do have the service here for those of you who either don't have time or just don't feel comfortable doing it on your own. If you have any questions, hit our website. You can either click the Contact Us or the Ask Me buttons, or you can make comments on the post, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Otherwise, we encourage you to sign up for our newsletter right on the homepage. Fill your email in here and click submit, and you'll be signed up for the weekly newsletter that comes out and contains all our posts. As we go forward, we're going to be adding in unique contests and special offers for all of our readers, and we look forward to having you as a member. Thanks again for watching the video, and hopefully you learned something today. Again, this is Mike from Two Pros and Their Blogs, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.